Good morning, everybody. We'll get started in just a few minutes.
Good morning, Casey.
How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. How are things in Pennsylvania?
It's bad right now. It's snowing, so school is out,
Yes,
so I'm
same here.
working from home.
Yes, we have a remote day. Most of the schools are closed here.
That is crazy.
Hopefully you can
So,
stay safe and don't lose power.
I know, right? Same for you.
Scotty and Dominique, where are you joining us from?
This is Scotty. I'm joining you from Fort Knox.
Hi. I
I'm
believe you're
teleworking.
also.
Yeah, I'm teleworking from home today.
Yes, I saw on the news that the base was closed.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'm joining from Miami, Florida.
I bet things are a little bit warmer where you are. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hi, Logan and Neelan.
Hey, good morning.
Where are you joining us from, Neelan?
Georgetown, Texas.
Okay, great. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, so howdy.
Oh, nice.
Let's give a few more minutes for people to join. I know for those of the participants who signed up who may be working, I just want to give them a second to join if they're on their lunch break. And we'll get started here in a few minutes with the formal presentation. Can everyone see the slide that is displayed on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And as a forewarning, because we have a remote work day because of the snow conditions today, you may see my dog make an appearance in the background. Hopefully she will be quiet, but wanted to apologize in advance if she decides to make herself known. Hi, Matthew. Thanks for joining us. We can go ahead and get started. If you all would like to turn your cameras on, it's up to you. I would like this to be a kind of formal/informal session. Obviously, we're here to share information about the online PhD program. This is a new program that we're launching here at the University of Louisville. We're very excited about it. So I will have a formal presentation presented for you today. But if at any time you'd like to ask a question during the session, or you would like to drop a question in the chat or a comment in the chat, feel free to. We will have time at the end to devote time to questions and answers, anything that you are concerned with or need clarification on that I might talk about in the presentation. But I want this to be a formal/informal session, kind of a balance of that. So I'm Casey George. I'm an associate professor here at the University of Louisville. I'm also the program director of the online PhD in Higher Education Administration. It's my privilege to be launching this program. This is our second information session for the program, thinking ahead to our first cohort, which will start in summer of 2026. So we're very excited for this program to begin. We're excited to welcome our first round of applicants and our first round of students in summer 2026 and to get this program off the ground and running. So I just want to give out a shout out to Cameron Murray Hicks, if you want to wave, Cameron. He is our online counterpart at the Delphi Center for Teaching and Learning. He is also here to support you as you have questions around our online programs, helping support you through understanding what is offered by the program and help guide you through the application process. And we also have other individuals with our College of Education and Human Development who are also here to support you. So they are not on the call today, but just know that there's a whole host of individuals, myself, Cameron, and others included, who are here to welcome you, not only in the process of making the decision to maybe apply to the University of Louisville, but also to support your application process and to support you as a student here should you be admitted and attend the program. So I just wanted to stress out that we have a lot of support systems available to you and a lot of individuals who are ready to see you be successful in this program. So welcome, Courtney. Glad for you to join us. So I'll go ahead and get started with the presentation. I want to give a brief overview of the program itself. We'll talk about some of the highlights of the program. We will talk about what typical courses look like. We'll talk about the admissions process. I will give you some tips of things to think about as you're considering your options, as we know that this is probably one of many different programs that you're investigating as you make a decision of what program to apply to and which program to attend. So we'll kind of start with the details of the program and work our way towards the bigger picture of what I encourage you to think about as you're making this important decision. But again, if you have questions as we're going through the formal presentation, please feel free to ask and or drop the questions in the chat, okay? So I want to stress that the online PhD here at the University of Louisville is designed to focus on higher education administration, and it's designed specifically for working professionals who are already in that industry and or in related entities that work with colleges and universities. So we're looking to invite students who are going to be working full-time at colleges or universities, individuals who are a little bit further along in their careers, individuals who have high aspirations, who want to enter leadership positions in a higher education institution or a related entity such as a nonprofit organization or a governmental entity that works with higher education. We're looking for those individuals who are not only experienced already in this field, but who have aspirations to become effective and transformational leaders in higher education administration. One of the reasons that we designed the program was that we realized that a lot of individuals across the country, and we've just mentioned briefly at the beginning here, we have folks joining us from Pennsylvania, Florida, and other states. We wanted to be able to design a program that is accessible to you as you continue your careers. Some PhD programs expect you to pause your career, to relocate to a specific city, to attend classes in person. We purposefully designed this program so that you can continue your professional career and professional journey while also not having to relocate to Louisville. So we want you to continue your personal and professional lives where you are, but we are looking for, again, that group of individuals who are seeking a way to advance their careers. They're committed to helping create positive change in higher education, and they want to be thought leaders in this area. Our program is also specifically designed, sorry, that's my dog. I knew she might make an appearance. Again, sorry, we're on remote work schedule for the snow day today. Our program is also designed to develop your research skills while you're in your program. So thinking ahead past all of the coursework, your final milestone in this program will be a dissertation study. That is an independent study that you will conduct in your final year of the program, but the coursework is purposely scaffolded early on, and your experiences in the program outside of the classes are purposefully designed to build your research experience, working towards building your capacity for conducting that dissertation study, but also bringing in the research skills into your own practice in higher education. So we're really drawing in that connection between research and effective leadership, and to supplement your skill development along the way so that it is embedded within the courses, it's embedded within your program experience so that you're really gaining the research skills and experience as you go through the program. Our program is cohort based. So we're looking at a cohort model where one cohort will be admitted per year. That cohort will start in the summer semester. So first cohort will begin in summer of 2026. The next cohort will not begin until the following summer. Your cohort will be peers around the country. So we are thinking about having a group of students who are connected to each other through this program, who are also continuing their professional roles at their home institution or at their home organization, and that you're provided within this cohort model that you will progress together through all of the courses and through all of your milestones. Within the cohort, you all are bringing lots of diverse experiences, you're bringing diverse ideas, you're bringing different insight based on the institution or the organization that you work with. So think about who your peers will be in the classroom and who you will be learning alongside and how you will support each other through that network, and to establish that network across the country, even though you're all connected to the University of Louisville, will be a network of individuals around the country. Our program is designed to be very flexible and accessible. Again, we don't want you to pause your career or your family life or your personal life. And at the same time, we want it to be reasonable in terms of your progression within the program. And even though you'll be attending part-time, you will still be able to complete your degree in as little as 4 years. So we want to make sure that we're supporting your success year to year with that target of being able to finish your degree within 4 years. Some individuals may take a little bit longer depending on their dissertation study, but the goal is to make it possible for you to complete your degree in as little as 4 years. I already mentioned the hands-on research experience, but I want to give a little bit more detail into that. The research is embedded in your coursework and in your program experiences. Upon admission, you will be assigned to a research lab, and I'll talk more about those in a few slides. But your cohort of 20 to 22 students will be divided up into smaller research labs. So about 5 to 7 students within the broader cohort will come together into a specific research lab. So you'll have your broader cohort of peers to work with in your classes, and then you'll have your smaller cohort within the research lab to work closely with a faculty member on research topics and research projects, and to help support each other again in practicing that hands-on research experience and really gaining that experience and knowledge as you're working your way through the program. We understand you're busy. We understand you have families, you have lives, you have other obligations outside of the PhD program. Obviously, you're going to be working in higher education or related entity. So we want to take some of the kind of ankle biters, the tedious burdens off of your plate. So we are providing executive style supports throughout the program. So this even includes small things like registering for you for your classes, mailing your books to you ahead of time, taking care of some of those administrative or logistics tasks so that you don't have to worry about those things. So once you're in the cohort, if you apply and are admitted, a lot of those small tasks will be taken care of you by the staff members here at the University of Louisville. So that just makes it a little bit easier for you to focus on what's important to you and to be able to focus on your classes rather than trying to remember all of the little kind of things that might be on your to-do list. We want you to be able to focus on your learning and continue your career and focus on your personal life as well. Okay, so just to recap some of the program highlights. Again, it's designed for professional experience or for experienced professionals. We're emphasizing research and leadership. I'll talk more about the flexible online delivery a little bit later in the presentation, but this is a program that's designed to be highly accessible no matter where you are in the country. And then we will have annual in-person events, 1 per year, where you will come together here at the University of Louisville or at a conference location. And the conference locations will change year to year, but you'll have a connection or a chance to connect with others in the cohort and eventually others in the program across multiple cohorts through these annual in-person events. And then finally, we have the executive style supports to help you within that cohort to help you be successful while you're here at the University of Louisville. I'm going to pause and see if y'all have any questions so far about the program highlights. Okay, if there's questions, feel free to jump in. With the research labs that I mentioned briefly before, we have 4 labs that are going to begin in cohort 1. We will add additional labs as we move forward with additional cohorts, but our 4 preliminary labs are going to be focusing on student experiences and campus environments with Dr. Buckley. I will be focusing on equity and experiences in post-secondary education. So thinking about how students experience a sense of belonging or perceptions of discrimination on campus, and thinking about equity, especially when it comes to education policy. Dr. Gross will be thinking about pathways to opportunity, including foster students or former foster youth, and Dr. Sun will be focusing on civil rights and liberties. Each of these labs, again, are your sub-cohorts affiliation. So within your larger cohort, you will be assigned to one of these 4 labs, and you will work closely with the faculty member who is leading the lab to work on research projects, to prepare conference presentations, to present at conferences, prepare publications and manuscripts, and to help build your research practice working towards your dissertation. So again, the research experiences are happening in and out of the classroom, but the research lab assignment will help enhance your research experiences, your research skills, give you a chance to practice what you're learning in the classroom, and help prepare you to have a successful dissertation. So this is going to be very hands-on, very practical, but you'll be in this smaller cohort within the broader cohort so that you can work closely with about 5 to 6 other students. Eventually, we will also be adding other labs, and these individuals will also be teaching the majority of your classes. I'm teaching the first 2 classes in the first year of cohort 1. Dr. Buckley will be teaching the classes in the fall following this first semester, and so forth. So you'll be learning from each of these lab leaders and other members of our higher education student affairs faculty, including Dr. Taylor Pratt and Dr. Joshua Wallace. In terms of the course details, I mentioned that we have an online flexible format. Again, we want you to continue working. We want you to continue to have your lives outside of the program. So when we are thinking about what your coursework experience is going to look like, you will have about 2.5 years of classes where you are taking 2 classes per semester. These classes are purposely paired together. So you will take, for most semesters, you will take a class in a cognate area focusing on an issue in higher education, followed by a methods class. And I'll show you an example of that sequence on the next slide. But this gives you a chance, again, to practice that research while you're learning. So you'll learn about a topic area first, and then you will use the methods in the next course to practice analyzing and understanding that topic area or that cognate area. So these are purposefully paired, again, to build your research capacity and to think about sequencing towards your dissertation. We have the online delivery of the classes to provide flexibility. It's going to be asynchronous modules for the most part, but every 3rd module, you will have a synchronous online session. So be thinking about how within a semester, and our classes are about 8 weeks in the fall and spring and about 5 weeks in the summer, every 3rd session would be synchronous at a time agreed upon by each class. And your other 2 sessions, the first 2 sessions, would be asynchronous. So you could jump into your online coursework on a Sunday afternoon if you wanted to, or a Tuesday evening, or you could jump in over lunch breaks for those first 2 modules. And then the 3rd module, you would have a chance to connect with your faculty member and with the other individuals in the class. And again, this is just going to be those who are in the cohort and only for those who are in the online PhD program. So it will always be the 20 to 22 students in those classes. You'll grow together in the cohort and get to know each other as you move through the program, but you'll have a chance to connect online in a synchronous format every 3rd class session. So in an 8-week fall class, that means 2 synchronous sessions over an 8-week period. So we want you to be learning online, but we say not alone, right? So you have support there, you have support from your cohort, from your faculty member, but it still is flexible, especially in those 2 weeks that are asynchronous, for you to be able to work it into your schedule and balance everything that you have on your plate. Again, the class schedule is super manageable. We do 1 class at a time. So you're going to take 2 classes per term, but you're only focusing on 1 class at a time. For those of you who have maybe done our master's program in the past, you know what this is like, right? You still get 2 courses in each fall and spring and summer term, but you're only asked to focus on 1 class at a time for a concentrated period. And then in the second half of that semester, you switch to a new class. So you're still doing 2 classes, but it's concentrated 1 at a time. So we think this is really helpful in terms of doing that focused study, but also you're still scaffolding towards that progression so that you can still complete your degree in 4 years and be set up for a successful dissertation. And then finally, with our faculty are super supportive. We have worked with a lot of adult learners, individuals who are in the military. We have individuals in our master's program who are located around the world. We have lots of experience supporting students. We know that things may come up at the last minute. We know that there might be elder care or child care conflicts. We are always willing to work with you and support you because we want you to succeed in the program. And it's not just succeeding in your classes, but it's succeeding overall. So know that your faculty members who are teaching the classes, who are working with you on the research labs, are going to, of course, be challenging and supporting of you. They want you to do your best, but we're doing it in a holistic, professional development way so that you can learn and succeed while you are in the program. And I'll share that link again for Ivory. Once we conclude the formal presentation, I'll put it into the chat again, Ivory. Okay, any questions right now about the courses or how they're paired or how they're delivered? Okay, so the sample schedule of classes, I just wanted to give you a snapshot of what you might be looking at if you choose to join us here at U of L. In year one, in summer of 2026, you would take LEAD 710, which is your doctoral seminar program course that introduces you to doctoral studies, followed by LEAD 682, which is Organization and Administration of Higher Education. These are the purposeful pairings that will happen 2 at a time. So in the fall, then you would take college students in the US, followed by applied statistics and so forth. So you can see in year one, starting with summer, you'll progress 2 courses at a time. And most of the sequences are a topic area course followed by that methods course. Okay. Year 3 follows a similar structure, but partway through year 3, you start to do your dissertation research. In terms of the program milestones, I want to set expectations clear in terms of what is required to complete your doctoral program here at the University of Louisville with the online PhD program. We assume that when you apply to the program, you already have a master's degree. So the doctoral degree itself is 60 credit hours beyond the master's program. So all of that coursework, some of what I just showed you in year 1 and year 2, required methods classes, your dissertation credit hours, when you're doing your dissertation study, all will contribute to that 60 credit hour milestone, but you will complete your courses in under at about 3.5 years in terms of completing the coursework for the program. And again, you're moving through everything as a cohort, so you have that support structure where it's not you alone going in and out of classes, you're all moving together from start to finish. After your coursework is complete, you will complete a comprehensive exam. The way our comprehensive exam is structured here at the University of Louisville is that we want it to be purposeful, working towards your dissertation. It is going to be a draft of the first 3 chapters of your dissertation. So this is a proposal to us, the faculty, saying, this is what I think I want to do for my dissertation. And it gives you a chance to get feedback early on. So instead of waiting until the dissertation proposal stage, you actually have a chance to get feedback 1 step earlier. So it's not a timed exam. It's not where you're regurgitating information or dates or facts around higher education. It's a purposeful draft of your dissertation proposal and has that built-in feedback from your comprehensive exam committee, who will read it, give you critical feedback on how to develop it further for your dissertation proposal. So again, this is kind of a stepping stone working towards that dissertation. Once you pass your comprehensive exam, you will then take that feedback from your committee and you will finalize your dissertation proposal. So this may look like modifying your theoretical framework. It may be modifying your methods or your approach to even recruiting participants for your study, but you will take that comprehensive exam feedback and work towards polishing it and tweaking it to prepare for the dissertation proposal. You will present that to your committee, get feedback, and once you pass that, you are cleared to complete your dissertation. With the dissertation study, again, it's an independent study where you will be showing us your potential as an independent scholar. You'll be showing us your knowledge and skills gained in the program. You'll be investigating a new idea or new question within higher education, and you'll be conducting that study on your own. But at the same time, you still have your cohort who's at the same point in progress with you. So at this time in the dissertation study, some of you may take an extra semester, an extra year to do it, but you're all at that point together and you can still support each other as you complete your program. So be thinking about that as well in terms of the cohort-based model supporting you all the way through and not just to the end of coursework. Okay. I see Cameron jumped back in. Thank you. Okay, in terms of the application materials, I know some of you may have already started your application and we're excited to see you here, excited to see your name in our portal. But the required documents are the application, graduate school application, and the application fee. transcripts from all prior institutions. So even if you just took a couple of classes at a community college back in undergrad, we will still need all of those transcripts for all courses that you've taken across your higher education journey so far. And then 2 letters of recommendation. These can be from past instructors. They can be professional recommendations from your supervisor. We ask that they be professional and not personal contacts. But I know some of you may have been out of school for a while. Things might have changed in terms of your connection to prior instructors or prior faculty members, advisors, and so forth. So of course, we are open to also receiving letters of recommendation from professional contacts as well. But think about who might be able to speak to your interest in pursuing this degree and your potential success as a doctoral student, but also as a leader in higher education. So be thinking about who might be able to support you in recommending you for this program. In addition to those documents, we also require a resume or CV, a personal statement of 1 page, and then an analysis essay. The personal statement, we really want to hear what is motivating you to apply to this program. What do you want to do with the degree? Why is this the right program and right time for you to pursue a doctorate, and why our program? And really, what motivates you? What are your research interests? What piques your curiosity? As my doctoral advisor said, what keeps me up at night sometimes because it bothers me, right, in terms of a research problem. Talk about who you are, tell us about who you are, and let us learn more about you and what your motivations are for pursuing this degree. For the analysis essay, we're really looking for a writing sample here to show us what your thought processes are, how you approach writing, how you approach a problem. This could be a paper from a former class. It could be a report or a document that you've created for work. It could be a variety of things, but we're looking for an analysis essay around 8 to 10 pages. If you don't have something that you could already think about using, you can reach out to me. We can talk about a potential essay topic to help you make sure that you feel comfortable with submitting that essay. You also have some optional items. These are not required, but for some individuals, we may ask to interview you during the admissions review process. You are welcome to submit your GRE scores, but they are not required. And if there's any additional academic or creative work you would like us to consider in your application, you're welcome to provide us with that as well. So if you created a strategic plan for your program, or you helped lead an assessment effort in your office, or you were creating something to help support students at your institution, you could provide something such as that to help supplement your application materials. Okay. Our deadline is January 15th. And for that, we mainly want to see your application and application fee paid. Your supplemental documents can come in after that, but we encourage you to get as much in by January 15th as you can, because that's when we'll begin the review process for all of the applicants for the first cohort. Again, we'll send reminders, like if you're missing a letter of recommendation or a transcript, we will of course work with you to keep you informed on the status of the completion of your application, but we want you to apply by January 15th and try to get all of your supplemental documents in by then as best you can. Okay. Any questions right now? Okay, in terms of the cost, our online graduate tuition rate is $850 per credit hour. And because the classes are online, there's an additional $10 per credit hour fee that our online programs assess. So really it's $860 if you combine that fee and tuition per credit hour. If you are military connected, if you're active duty military personnel, your reduced rate is $250 per credit hour. For those of you who are connected to the military, if you're active duty, you may still have benefits that you're able to use from your GI Bill or your tuition assistance. I encourage you to reach out to our Center for Military Connected Students to ask about your particular situation. I know there's certain restrictions around what can be used, what benefits can be used and when, and what prior degrees you've completed or pursued. So I encourage you to talk specifically with our counselors who can guide you through that process and identifying what benefits are available to you to help pay for that. But you are automatically assessed the lower rate in terms of the military tuition, that discount for the military personnel. There is also a program fee that is $500 per term. This is going to cover your books, staffing to help with those registration processes, all of the staff support that's going to help support you in the program, software licenses when you're doing your research, and other program supported experiences. So when you come to Louisville for orientation, which is your first year in-person experience, the program fee will go towards things that you will be experiencing here at the University of Louisville. I just mentioned the in-person experiences, and I want to return to that because there's more details about that I want to share with you because it relates to the final cost. Again, each year you will have one in-person experience. In year one, that is orientation. It's going to happen in late June this year, so towards the end of your time in LEAD 710, your first class, you will travel to the University of Louisville for a couple days where you'll do an in-person orientation with your cohort. In year 2, 3, and 4, you will be attending an annual conference with the Association for the Study of Higher Education. That is our main higher education conference. It's one that a lot of us attend ourselves. There's research presented there. In your research labs, you will be presenting papers in those experiences beginning in year 2. So depending on where ASH is, you will be traveling to ASH once a year to have that, again, that kind of out of class research experience and to meet with your cohort. So we will probably have a class during ASH with your cohort. You'll have dinners, you'll have networking opportunities with each other. So you want to plan on travel and accommodations for each of those in-person experiences. Again, it's one trip per year. First year is here to Louisville. Years 2, 3, and 4 are going to be to the conferences. I can tell you this year ASH just happened. It was in Denver, Colorado. Next year, which if you apply for cohort 1, you would not be required to attend, but it's in Puerto Rico. And then if you look at their website, it will be in different cities each year. So you can maybe plan out, depending on where you're located now, what would the cost look like for ASH in 2027, 2028 for me to go to those conferences. So that can help you price out those in-person experiences. Okay. So just to kind of recap why you might want to choose U of L, what sets us apart. I know, again, many of you are probably shopping around for different options. You're looking at different programs, and we encourage you to do that. We want you to pick what is best for you. I'll pitch why U of L I think is a strong option for you. But if any of you would like to discuss one-on-one, a separate meeting with me to talk more about what you're considering, I'm happy to help you think through your options, even if it ends up being that you don't come to University of Louisville. We want you to be successful and happy with your choice. But here's why you might want to pick Louisville. We have those built-in research experiences. We know that there's a lot of online doctoral programs that are offered out in the country. A lot of them are EDDs, which are more practice focused, and that's good. We want to have those programs available as well. But this program is specifically and purposefully designed to have those research experiences built in. We want you to be gaining those research skills because as you become a leader in higher education, we want you to be using the research in your practice and in your leadership of those in those future positions. So think about what you're gaining outside of the coursework and how research is built into your classes and into your other in-person and in-program experiences. We also want you to be able to pursue your degree from wherever you are. So again, we have individuals on this call around the country. We want you to stay where you are. We want you to have the freedom and flexibility to maybe take a new job in a new state in the next year or two. We don't want you to be restricted by having to be here at Louisville. So pursue your degree from wherever you are. But again, you're learning online, but not alone since you have that cohort model. Speaking of the cohort, you have that benefit of the network and support with each other. Each cohort will be 20 to 22 students. You automatically are going to bond with each other. You'll be able to pick up the phone or send an email to your colleagues across the country and pick their brains or say, hey, can we debrief after our synchronous session tomorrow so that we can talk about our project, or we can talk about this research idea I have, or I have an administrative challenge at my institution. Can you help me think through this? You're going to have that benefit of connecting with each other and being able to pick each other's brains throughout your entire program. And it's not just peers who are local to you. We want peers to be around the country. So this is going to end up being a cohort and a program filled with individuals from community colleges, two-year institutions, four-year institutions, nonprofit organizations, governmental entities. We want this to be a broad set of higher education leaders across the country so that you can have that network and that benefit, but also, again, feel connected to each other and supportive, be able to support one another. And then within our program, you are joining what is going to be the beginning of this legacy of experienced leaders and innovators. We are thinking about ahead when we are in year 4 of this. There will be about 80 students together in this program, and you will be part of that set of leaders and innovators who are going to be really effective leaders in higher education in the next 10 to 15 years. We want you to be well positioned to be successful, not only for the program, but to help improve higher education. So what are the big policy questions? What are the big practice concerns? What are the big challenges that are coming up in the next 10 to 15 years? And how are you going to be prepared to address those and lead your institutions and help your students be successful while we help you be successful in this program? So think ahead to what the next 10 or 15 years look like for you and how U of L might help you get to where you want to be. Okay. Okay, so as you're considering your options, I want you to consider these things: your goals and aspirations. What is it that you want to do in higher education? Where do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years for you personally and professionally? And how might U of L's online PhD help you achieve that goal? Again, if it's another program that helps you achieve your goal better or more efficiently or works better for you, we want you to pursue that. But think about, what are your goals and aspirations, number 1. Number 2, what are your program experiences like? Okay, we've talked about the online flexible delivery of courses, the synchronous module every 3rd session. We've talked about the annual in-person experiences. What are the program experiences that are going to help you prepare yourself to achieve your goals and aspirations that you identified in the previous point? Okay. Also think about flexibility and structure. With this program, you'll be moving 2 classes at a time per semester and continuously through. There's not going to be a semester off. If something happens and you need to take a semester break, you're going to probably be taking a year break because you would be joining the cohort after you. The classes that are offered in year 1 fall are not offered in year 1 spring. So you would have to wait until year 2 fall to pick up those courses again. So think about, what do my next few years look like? And can I commit to the structure of this in terms of the cohort-based progression, but also the flexibility in terms of what those courses look like and what the in-person experiences look like. Some of you may want a cohort-based experience. Some of you may thrive in that. Some of you may want to do this individually and say, I need the flexibility. I need to be able to come in and out of classes. And so another program may be better suited for you in terms of that inclination. We want you, again, to do what works best for you. This is a cohort-based program, and we did that on purpose. But we know that that may not work for everybody. So if an independent approach is better for you, we want you to pursue that. And then finally, think about costs. Again, we can price out the trips to the Association for the Study of Higher Education, or ASH, for those conferences starting in year 2. You can obviously price out what it would cost to travel to Louisville for the orientation in year 1, and also think about your financial aid or benefits you may be able to tap into with your institution or with your military benefits or other resources, and think about how you might budget this for the next 4 years. So I want you to consider all of these 5 things and other things as well, but these are the main 5 points I want you to consider when you're weighing your options. Okay. Okay. Last slide, and then we'll open it up for questions. We encourage you to apply today. The QR code is here. You can also just go to apply.louisville.edu. Again, the application deadline is January 15th, and we encourage you to have everything in by then. But at a minimum, the graduate application and application fee should be submitted by January 15th. We will begin our review shortly after January 15th. So if you're missing documents, we'll be in contact with you to submit those missing pieces. But know that we'll start reviewing for cohort 1 shortly after the deadline of January 15th. Okay. And I have my the general online PhD email up there. I will put my email, my direct email, in the chat as well for you to have if you want to set up a one-on-one meeting. I'm available. We can schedule meetings, Teams meetings, or phone calls as fits with your schedule. But I'd like to open it up for questions now. Yes, Ophelia?
Yes, thank you so much for this very thorough orientation here this morning. So my question is in regards to the research labs.
Yes.
I know you said that you are assigned to a lab initially. I'm just wondering, as your feet get settled and you kind of refine your research ideas, will you have the flexibility to switch labs? You may have said this earlier, so forgive me if you're repeating yourself. I know I joined late, but I just wanted to get a sense of that process because we know sometimes ideas change and
Yes.
research. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Great question. I did not address it, so thank you for raising this. So, the just like Ophelia mentioned, sometimes things happen, right? We want you to be developing your interests, your curiosities, your methods. We are not going to set in stone your research lab assignment from the beginning. So that is an initial assignment. You will have an opportunity to change research labs during your program, but we want to think about kind of the fit with the focus of the lab and what your dissertation goals are and what you plan to do in your future trajectory in your career so that we're setting you up for success again, not just in the program, but for your career as well. So you'll note that some of the research labs are more quantitatively focused, some are more qualitatively focused. Some of us do mixed method studies. That's one consideration in terms of like what method you might see yourself using in your dissertation or in your future work. That's one way we're going to consider what to assign you to in addition to your interests. But nothing is going to be set in stone. And so if in year 2, say semester 1, you're thinking, I really feel like I fit better with this other research lab, we can of course entertain that request and talk about moving you to a different research lab. But again, we want you to be successful. And if that is part of that process to help you be successful in the program, that is what we'll be doing. What we want to avoid is having all 20 or 22 cohort members all working with Dr. Sun. So we want to be able to distribute the advising and the research lab experiences across the faculty so that one faculty is not taking on the entire cohort. That would also impact what attention you're being given in terms of that research lab. So we do want it to be somewhat evenly distributed across the research labs, but we will allow some mobility and transference, especially as, like Ophelia mentioned, your interests are going to change. We want that to happen, right? We want you to have new questions. We want you to change trajectories. We want you to be incorporating new methods and new ideas and new interests as you move through the program. So certainly that is a possibility. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other questions or concerns? It's one general question. Does it sound flexible? Does it sound like it's going to be accessible in terms of if you think, what would my next few years look like in terms of completing the courses and completing all of the milestones?
Okay, see that's what I was gonna ask. If it's more specific, if it's flexible, can it use into other fields, or is PhD in higher education just one direct path, and you have to stick to that,
Mhm.
That's
Yes. Yeah, good question. So thank you, Joe. So the PhD, the full title is PhD in Educational Leadership and Organizational Development. It's kind of a mouthful. The only track right now within the ELOD, what we call the ELOD PhD for the online version, is the higher ed administration. So it is focused on preparing you to be a leader in higher education. Again, it doesn't have to be at a college or university setting. We all know there's lots of foundations, there's state level and federal level positions in terms of working with higher education. There's professional organizations, there's plenty of those types of positions out there. Our state higher education executive offices, there's lots of different avenues by which to still work with higher education as an industry, but your courses and your research will be focused on higher ed. This is not more general for human resource or workforce development. It is specific to higher education administration. So that is the purpose of the courses, the purpose of the research, and the focus of it. But your degree itself is going to be this broader term, which is education, leadership, and organizational development with a specialization in higher education administration. Again, it's a mouthful. So we've tried to shorten it to online PhD in higher ed administration. So, but good question.
And when you say higher ed, I'm sorry to jump in real quick. You are also encompassing the community colleges, right?
Yes. Yep. We think of
Awesome.
higher ed broadly. It's definitely not focused only on that traditional aged learner or only four-year institutions. We're looking at the whole host of post-secondary experiences and all of the entities and organizations that are related to that. So we've had individuals who work for, I had somebody on the last information session who works for Graduate Admissions Council. doing marketing. They're thinking about graduate admissions processes and what graduate enrollment will look like across the nation over the next few decades. And so that's an example of somebody who's not at a college or university, but who is in a related entity, thinking about how do I position myself to be able to do research, to be able to be a leader in this area so that I can help support my organization or the organization I work for in the future, be a leader in this area. But so we're looking at all like 2-year, 4-year certificate programs, bachelor's programs, associate's programs, master's, doctoral, all we're looking at it all. So
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good question. Thanks, Ophelia.
Yes, ma'am. Would it also cover the federal government education system, Department of War?
So thanks, Dominique. So we know that there's lots of changes right now with the Department of Education. And I know recently they've announced partnering with 4 other kind of federal level institutions or federal level offices. So thinking about how some of the Department of Education is being restructured to partner with, say, Health and Human Services, Department of Labor, and so forth. Some of the positions that we may think of traditionally with the Department of Education are changing. And so we just want to be practical about that. We don't know what, I wish I had a magic 8 ball to see what the future held. We don't know what the Department of Education is going to look like in the coming years, or what those new partnerships with the other federal offices are going to look like in terms of those positions. But I would expect that even if the federal level Department of Education does close down, if that does eventually happen, a lot of things are going to need to shift to the states. So if we think about federal financial aid, there's discussion about that switching to the state levels and letting the states handle financial aid at that state level. So I think there's going to be opportunities. It's not as if it completely disappears, but it may look different than what we have now.
Yes, ma'am.
questions?
Understood. Yes, one other question. I know that in order to qualify for the program, you have to be in a higher education setting, but I just want to make sure that my course of work is a qualification. I work with the Department of Defense, training the soldiers, the sailors in education, basically making sure that that qualifies.
Yes, and I think, again, we're thinking about higher education broadly speaking. So you don't have to be housed in a position at a college or university. We're considering a lot of different positions, but we want you to be thinking about your current position and experiences to date and how they help qualify you for the program, but also what your goals are. So how is it that in that position you might be partnering with institutions, or you might be thinking about credentialing of the students. You might be thinking about how to support the students so that they're successful in their program. It's a different type of adult learner, but certainly it would be included within our kind of umbrella of higher education administration. Good
Thank
questions.
you.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Other questions? Ivory, did you get the link that I think I was trying to catch up on the chat. I think you got the link that you were asking for.
I did, and
Okay.
I'm gonna follow up with email.
Okay, perfect. Yes, and again,
Thank you.
if any of you want to have a one-on-one meeting, I'm happy to meet with you. Go ahead, Ivory.
I'll just saying thank you.
Oh, no, thank you so much. We appreciate you all spending your time today, especially for those of us in snowy conditions. Well, again, my email is in the chat. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to meet one-on-one with you. Again, Teams call or phone call to help you make your decision. Or if you have other questions or want to speak just on an individual basis, if you have questions now, but you'd rather wait until we have a chance to connect one-on-one, I'm happy to meet with you. We will be having winter break in a few weeks, but if you reach out in the next few weeks, I'll have time to meet with you before winter break happens. So again, just want to remind you that we're here to help support you in terms of making a decision. We hope you choose U of L. We're excited about this program, but again, we want you to do what's best for you, and we hope that we are in your future in some way. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Joe.